I wrote a program that said Merry Christmas and formed a Christmas tree, printed out,
Right on the back.
and it had presents underneath it and stuff like that. I wrote a program that did that. When I went out to collect my programs, because they gave me on those green and white sheets, like print out, whatever you did, you print it out on that, right? So I go up there and pick it up, and the guy, he's in a football room down there. He's well over 240 or something. Just freshman in college or whatever. Anyway, I go in there and pick that up, and he goes, "You understand?" I said, "Well, I mean, I'm trying to get it down." Of course, I had to have her type it before. But anyway, so I go up to pick it up, and I pick it up, and I open it up, and it's got my Christmas tree there with little presents underneath it. Everything says Merry Christmas with spaces and all that kind of, I mean, it looks exactly, if you just look at it, it's a Christmas tree with presents underneath it, but if you read it, it says Merry Christmas on it, right? That guy, he gave me the worst. Looking at me, just don't beat me up. You know? So.
Well, I'm pretty good at Excel and all that formulas in there. So another guy couldn't figure it out. Come find out somehow Excel was hidden. It was a blank all the time. But yeah, I didn't get AI. How do I make this cell say this cell and this cell? And just wrote it out, copy and paste. And I was like, damn, it's blank still. What the heck? So I put it in different cell. I'm not sure how to make the other one show up.
When I finally took her class the next semester, computer science, right? So, which I plan on doing anyway. Had to, so I decided to take the class, and I took the class. I took it. I had English. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Ladies, yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays is ladies. Anyway, so on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. First day I went in, she said, look, nobody's going to have to do exams. Everybody has to take exams. Put it out to her. Blah, 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 blah. I said, well, my sister's class, she had high grades. So anyway, I showed it. I never. So I show up and the test. Can I borrow a blue ball? I got an extra pencil. So I handed in stuff like that. That was so I get back to the steering. He graded on it. And and I said, well, wait a minute. I said, my program works. I said, it's shorter and it's better than that. So he goes, yeah, but we have
You didn't show your work.
Well, I did, but it was like, we haven't learned.
This is what you were about to
For your 45 minutes, freedom.
Freshman person that's
All the commitment to
do the exam very first time. Your grade this time. You're older. You're the youngest one in this class. She goes, all right, for the rest of this, do it as we're doing the class.
When we went in for the class before the exam and stuff like that, he goes, okay, so it was great on a curve. I still had over 100, like 109. So I'm going there, he goes, you don't have to take the exam. So wait a minute, you said semester, everybody has to take the exam. What do you worry about? It's going to take 15 minutes.
One time you want to take the exam?
He was about right. It took about 15 minutes. Feel like you're dressed with JT up there.
Little tiger paw.
Come from a wedding or something? Funeral, maybe?
Same difference.
Who's in, is it?
Just give JT a hard time.
Yeah. Is your remote rack showing up yet? Did you put any more out?
Not whole.
Yeah.
Unrolled out.
You need pen?
Right.
Yeah, you know.
I put it down.
Two, please.
Unrolled.
Three.
Used up the bag of that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's starting to, after I get through mowing, I mowed the, so I got rye grass in the backyard, so I had to mow it pretty regular. After I got through mowing it this time, it's really catching up to shit. It seems slow with everything else, the garden is really good.
They weren't there.
Yeah, zucchini and squash, and then you're leaning the portion of the The mute is actually, as much as I thought it was.
All right, 7:04 on Monday, May 13th, 2024. I'm gonna call to order our regular town council meeting. Madam Secretary, you wanna take a roll?
Mark Campbell. David Dryden.
Here.
David Ginsler.
Here.
John Crow.
Here.
Tracy Trevino.
Here.
Robert Simmons.
Here. All right, please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 2, citizen comments. And the first one is with Sarah Beth Graham. You want to stand up and state your name and address, please?
Sure. My name is Sarah Beth Graham. I live at 3525 Lakeway Drive. I have a few things I would like to mention this evening. First, regarding the upcoming agenda item for tonight, listed as 5.2, discuss, consider, act on nomination of individuals to fill vacant Alderman seat 1. My hope is that this will not involve any action by the council this evening. Our town has many people who are interested in local government, and I'm optimistic that several of them will show interest in the seat number 1 position. Since the town residents are just seeing the resignation of seat number 1, it seems reasonable that the council should give time to properly listen to feedback regarding anyone who may be interested in filling the open position versus acting on any nomination tonight. Additionally, I've been looking at websites for several different towns of our size as well as small cities. The majority of them post video of their council, planning and zoning, and other meetings directly on the town website. For under $400, our town could purchase video equipment, which would allow the meetings to be officially taped, and then they could be posted to the official town website with minimal effort. I would love to see that our town move forward with this level of transparency.
What towns have you went to see that?
Parker does that.
Parker, what else?
Lucas, Fairview, Allen, McKinney.
And I don't know if you've noticed on the last couple of agendas, we've actually been trying to get an IT executive session for that. There are some security things that go with that, so it's not something that you just do quickly.
Okay.
And just letting her know.
Lastly, many towns and other municipalities post a copy of the packet of information provided to the Planning and Zoning Commission and Council regarding the topics posted on the agendas for their meetings. This would also be very helpful to current citizens, as we would be able to access pertinent information to the meeting topics without having to put in a public information request after the meeting had already happened. Again, this would go a long way in promoting transparency within our local government and would require very minimal effort to accomplish. Please consider these suggestions for the future. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Second is, Tim Wyatt.
Tim Wyatt, I live at 1441 Lakeview, and I just wanted to come in. I thought it was important that I wanted to say thank you for David and John for your service to our community. You'll be sadly missed, and we do appreciate it. I've talked to a lot of people in the community that wanted to say thank you, so I wanted to come let y'all know we appreciate your service and the work y'all done to our community.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a fun 4 years. Okay.
That's it.
Special council meeting.
No, we'll go to 3.
Minutes.
3.
3.1 is approval. No, okay. We don't have that. 3.1 special council meeting from April 18th is to approve those minutes. Do we want to make a motion? Do I make a motion? No, second.
Make a motion, we accept 3.1.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes. Number 4 is approval of expenses. 4.1 is year-to-date budget for factual review.
I reviewed the financials, I make a motion that we approve.
No, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
4.2 is review balance of accounts.
I reviewed the accounts, make a motion that we accept them.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
All right.
It was my second, I'm sorry.
Here.
Wanted to make a note that you saw the.
Yes.
The correction, okay.
I'll make yours too.
All right, number 5 is regular,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
our regular agenda. 5.1 is discuss, consider, act on acceptance or resignation of Mark Campbell for Alderman seat 1.
I make a motion that we accept his resignation as requested.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to ask that we talk about the agenda order at this time.
For tonight?
Yeah, for tonight. So is there any reason that we cannot move to the actions bill to ratify and swear in the people that were elected?
There's a lot of action that still needs to be taking place on that. This agenda's been out since last week.
I was addressing Mr. Mayor.
Well, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so finish it.
So is there any reason that we can't, my understanding is the county has already given you the details, the town has the details of the election, and that we could take these actions today. And that I believe that it is proper for entities such as ours to take these actions with the most priority that we can. I don't think that we should be doing other actions on this agenda prior to having the new council sat. And that's regardless of who won and who lost. I do appreciate y'all's time, and I'm glad that y'all were on the council and you did a good job. And I appreciate, Mark's time on the council as well. If I would have been challenged and lost, I would think the same thing, because this is what legislatures do, this is what our county commissioners do, this is what other cities do. This is what we've done. I understand we haven't had a contested election in quite some time, but every election that we have that's been postponed, the immediate action after the election is to swear in the folks, and it's not always the same people. I think in several people's cases, it was somebody different, and they're sworn in with post haste. And I think that's what we should do here. It's the right thing. The people have definitely spoken. The election was not even close. And so I think it's the right thing for us to move forward as all of America does, all of Texas does. We don't have sessions of Congress where they come in and hold a little bit more action.
We don't need to get into
No,
Congress.
I think
No,
that
we
needs
don't need to
I
get into
have
Congress.
time. I mean,
If you're gonna make a motion, make a motion.
So the motion is for us to use the material, fine. The motion is to use the material given to us by the county as of today to be able to take the actions necessary to be able to swear in the people who won the election in the most recent election in May.
That is.
Okay, so I
something
still
in a
don't hear you,
different
hold on, I still don't hear you saying you want a specific agenda item moved as we've done before.
So I'll defer to staff. What agenda items do we need to move to be able to make that happen?
Well, you're the one making the motion, so we need to figure.
Our staff should be able to know. That's what we pay them.
I would be interested in an answer to that question.
Yeah, the staff should know what needs to be done.
So, I've got it on here. The original plan was to do it the following day in order, and I have checked with other cities. Yes, they do wait till the next day to take time to get the information in, to get it looked at, and then they usually have another meeting. This is very coincidental that this meeting fell on the 13th on our council day. That's unusual that you're gonna have your certification on that day as well. So, the original calendar, and I know people challenged that and went to the county and tried to find out if there was something wrong. There wasn't. I've checked with the ethics committee, I've checked with the Secretary of State, I've checked with everybody. If
Did
we
that
wanted-
answer your question?
No, I don't think that there's any reason we can't move forward. Our town is not that large. The number of votes was not that high. We could probably count them tonight. We've spent 3 hours or more into that
And I
meeting
guess-
before. I have no problem doing that tonight.
And I guess I have the question, just for clarification and just for the record, what the rush is to have it moved, why we can't just follow the agenda. I don't care, it doesn't affect me one way or the other. But, there was a calendar out. I've made the adjustment. It was quite taxing to try to get everything done that we needed to do, although it doesn't look like it when you have your complete organization rearranged. But again, does it matter to me? That's totally up to council. I'd just like to know for the record, what is the rush to move it up in the agenda? I'm just wondering.
I tried to make myself clear on why. I think I got cut off in that. I can recite down from federal all the way down to our town why you would do this kind of thing. Certainly we shouldn't take any action. So if we don't want to move it forward, if we cannot move it forward, I made a motion.
You need to make a motion, there needs to be a second, it needs to be voted on. You know that.
All right, so
Hold on, David's got a question.
Well, I mean, help me understand, 514 to 520. What of that can't be done tonight or has to be done before we swear in?
All of this has to be done. 513 to 520 has to be done before we swear in.
Okay, then.
The order is there.
Then Robert, might you make a motion to skip to 514?
I think my first question was, do we have everything that we need? And I think we
Yes,
do.
we have everything, yeah, I've already said.
Okay, so
I
the
have
motion
everything,
is
I've
that
got
we,
all the documents.
the motion is that we skipped to 514 and take the actions from 514 to 5.
So are we not
Five.
doing, there's not gonna be the canvassing, the 2 people to canvass?
I'm sorry, 513. So the motion is to move to agenda item 513 to appoint 2 council members to the town council canvassing board and all subsequent agenda items
All of this is on
down
the agenda.
to 520.
It's all on the agenda. It's been on the agenda.
I'm asking for
You're
it to
just-
be brought to the immediate action. Do we do it now?
Okay, so then we're gonna vote on, 2 members to be on the canvassing board, and then we're gonna shut this meeting down so they can do their canvas work?
That's fine with me, if that's what it takes. I
Then
don't
you
think
need to
that's,
make
I don't
the
think that's
motion.
what that takes. I don't think that's what it takes to do that.
I believe it does, cause they gotta go through the council and they gotta agree upon it,
Got the
and then
documents.
they bring it to the mayor. And the mayor signs off on it.
Again, this is the first election in 14 years. This is my first and will be my last. So,
Yeah, we need
however
to do
you
it.
want to
Make the motion.
handle it, whatever you
the
think, I
motion.
believe the procedure was to have two people to look at the
So,
information.
so the plan, so the plan tonight was to go down to agenda item 513 and then stop because we have to.
No.
What he just said, that takes all
No,
night.
we were gonna do it Wednesday,
No, it's on this agenda.
because a council member wanted it on there to discuss.
All right, well, I still say we skip to, my motion is that we skip to immediately skip to action, I'm sorry, to agenda item 513 to appoint 2 council members to be the town council canvassing board and follow all actions after that needed to be able to swear in the newly elected officials.
Can I ask what is involved with the town council canvassing board?
There is documents from the county. You just have to
Can
look
they
at
simply
those.
be reviewed and signed? Is there?
You just have to review them, and then we'll move to the next agenda item. Once they said yes, you have to sign the canvas, the general election canvas, and then we'll go to the resolution.
And we're planning to do that tonight.
We're gonna do it Wednesday.
Well, but that's all, I mean, we're not doing it.
All this is
We're
on there
doing it-
because council members.
We're not doing
requested
it.
this to be on.
We're not doing it Wednesday anymore. We're doing it tonight.
The meeting with the attorney on the 15th to, I'm sorry, on Wednesday, to go through everything to wrap it all
I just
up.
heard that we're not meeting Wednesday.
We're not.
Okay, we do it tonight,
Okay.
whether it be done now or later.
Well, if we're gonna have to do it anyway, are the electees prepared and comfortable with us proceeding?
Yes.
As prepared as can be.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays?
Yay.
All right, 5.13, appoint 2 council members to be the town council canvassing board.
So I would recommend that we not use somebody who's on the ballot.
Agree with you.
Obvious.
And that by default means that it's gonna be JT and myself.
So who makes that decision?
Do you wanna be on? Do you say yes or no?
Is that you asking me?
No, actually, Robert's not kinky on it because he was also on the ballot.
But he wasn't.
No,
Yeah, but I don't,
So
I
it
prefer
does-
not to be on it.
Who selects the
So it's
council
gonna
board?
default to you,
It's gonna
and
default to you and-
if you guys wanna accept it.
Yep.
I accept.
That looks nice.
All right. Go ahead and look over the.
Can we take a recess and let us review whatever it is that procedurally we need to
Maybe,
do?
JT, maybe you can come down here and sit with him, I'll bring you all the documents you want to look over.
All right, we'll be in recess until the canvassing board gets their approval.
This is the canvas from the,
Yep.
election. At the county.
Well, it's a good thing, we've got the rest of the council that really knows what's going on with the rest of this stuff, so I'm sure that Robert can carry it.
By
He
precinct.
knows what's going on.
That's good for you.
And this is the,
So, elections administrator, we sign off on this next.
and I'm just saying for the record, this is not the original signed copy from the county, but this is the email that we get. There is the, highlighted it for you, so it's a little easier to see as far as total.
All of this was on the town, county website?
So,
Explain to me why we're doing the agenda. So you can help the person who's gonna read them. and look at them. Follow them. Means there's nothing we can miss.
Here is
We'll have
the,
something to talk about.
here
I mean, what's the point? Is us doing our homework, to put this together, to have a meeting to discuss it, and then we get a, council to close this out before we
Let's share information. Don't look here now without us. Don't tell us what's going on. I see your cars here all the time.
You're dead right.
Everybody knows.
Just like you know why there wasn't.
I should have talked to the county all I want.
Do you do that, right? Do that, Robert.
I'm interested.
Do you do that? Yes or no? There's no water. And it's gonna be interesting because we're gonna let them know exactly what's going on.
I highlighted things just to make it a little easier for y'all.
Because we need to.
So, and I am going to address that.
This meeting, he's in the swear. Just keep her around. She's a sworn in and do
And he kept it out of it as a council member. I'm allowed to have it on the agenda. I have serious issue with that. And I'll wait till he comes back in.
There's nothing on that agenda that could be changed by that. I mean, because you can have positions that they want to see and not.
Close meeting.
And pay can always be changed at the next council meeting.
5:10.
There's nothing on this council meeting that was a big deal. Other than the fact that you need to recognize the people of the fee, and you need to probably pretty much say that, hey, look, we're not gonna make decisions. So people.
I'll wait until he gets back in here and I'll bring it up again.
People voted.
I don't know why I put things on the agenda as a council member and I'm not allowed to go through with them and follow up. What's the point of having an agenda item or having an agenda if we don't follow it? As the sitting council member, I have the authority to put things on the agenda. They were just cut out right here. I've got a problem.
Plan goes untouched.
Hey, the sitting peanut gallery time, y'all.
Okay, our commission has
We're in recess.
done their tallies and everything, they give their approval.
Hang on, I need a minute, this is.
Put 4 years into this and I got some clown that pushes me out because I've got agenda items and he texts me from being able to discuss them that I bring up. Not acceptable.
Somebody dressed in a clown outfit? Did y'all see anybody dressed in a clown outfit? I didn't see no clown outfit. Might have been the reason why they lost so bad.
I'm gonna make a motion that we get back to 5-9 in our closed session.
Get it over with. That's awful experience.
When you change the agenda items, I can make a motion and nobody can accept it, or they can. They don't accept it,
Go back.
Yeah.
Oh, Robert, by the way, when we meet up here, we're not meeting behind closed doors, we don't have a forum. We're meeting, discussing county ILAs with county people. So, you were welcome to stop, you come in, talk to us, and you're welcome to send an email to see what's going on, but you don't.
That's not what I'm talking about. You know
Yes, it is, that's
you
just
know
what you
that's not what I'm
said 10
talking
minutes
about.
ago up here, Robert.
This is not on the agenda for sure.
Well, you brought it up.
I recognize that y'all are trying to goad me into a fight, I get that.
I don't wanna fight with you.
Are you recording all that?
I'm just trying to get town business taken care of,
Okay,
so
let's
that we
get
can
back to the
cleanly
So
turn
five
it over.
13 is appoint the
We
two council
reconvene.
members, which we've done that, you guys.
We officially reconvened.
Yeah. We've done that, 514 is discussed that items 5.15, 5.16, 5.17, 5.18, 5.19, 5.20 are subject to receipt of official administrator Collin County. An alternate agenda is also being posted for Wednesday, May 15th, 2024, in the event of any issues presented in the campus by the town council and council board on the 13th.
Okay, so let's move on, 5.15. So you all are in agreement, you and JT are in agreement that this is, the numbers are acceptable, you've looked at them, they're okay?
Did you?
You agree to what you just signed?
Yes.
There we go. So that was 515? 516 was the signing of it? We did?
Yes. Five 16 is discuss, consider act on signing canvas of the general election, Texas, yes, West form number 11-14. All right, moving on.
So 516, Mayor has to sign this. Okay.
Okay.
517,
517 is discuss, consider act.
resolution that we signed. All right, so what we signed was the 517. JT and I signed.
Wait, hang on, no, the resolution, yeah, that's, y'all fill that in, so now the mayor.
11-14.
I'm sorry?
No, oh, sorry, I was
Yes,
addressing.
250513, the resolution, that's what JT and I just signed.
For 517.
Correct,
Yes.
517.
We're done with that. 518, discuss, consider act on issuance of certificate of election, Texas SOS form number 23-1 for the following newly elected officials: Kent Swanner, Mayor; Justin Graham, Alderman seat 3; Robert Simmons, Alderman seat 5.
Is there something we're supposed to review?
These are just the certificates, he just has to sign them.
Gentlemen, before we go further on this, I'm gonna make a motion once again that we go back to our regular agenda. We complete it out and we turn it over to the newly elected council. At the end of us working through these 5 or 6 items that we had put together to get through.
5-9 is the closed meeting.
Closed meeting.
Yeah, discuss, town secretary and Alderman seat 1.
A lot of work that's been put into this, and if the current council is not interested in
Can't go
hearing what
back.
we've got, then
Can't go back.
We can't go back.
that's what it is. I'll figure it out.
Okay, so 519 19,
I mean, we can go back, it's not, that's not a true statement.
Point of order, you have to finish the motion.
We can go,
Correct.
after
You have to finish
520.
the motion.
The original motion from Robert was
Right.
was to,
Go from 513 on down to 520.
but it was not to skip 5.2 to 5.12.
No, it was this, so his motion was to go from 513
change the
through
order.
520 and then go back.
So those are still on the agenda.
correct.
Right, question being, it appears that the way that this is being run is we're gonna be moving new council members in for that is, and the people that have worked on this, things that I put on the agenda are not gonna be, I do not have an opportunity to have a conversation with it. I don't get to present my agenda items.
You can sit out here and do it.
Can't do that, it's a closed session item.
Yeah. The town is at a pinnacle, and there's things that have been put, that have been discussed and put in place. And if y'all choose to move forward without knowing them, that's on y'all. I've made the motion that we move into closed session.
We've all done this, not the 5-9 close. So you're gonna have the two new elects come in and sit on that and make decisions.
That's right. Because they're gonna be on it for 2 years, and whatever we're gonna do at 5-9 needs to be part of what they're a part of.
Okay, so I have a motion to go back to 5-9, do I have a second?
Lee, can we do that?
I'm sorry?
Can we do that?
You said no. Let's finish the,
Okay,
so Robert Simmons made the motion of 513 to 520, and we agreed. So we proceeded with going from 513 to 520. Now we're having a
We're
motion.
5.18.
No, we're 518, so we have not completed 520, all the way from 513 to 520, which was the motion that Robert made.
So you're
Knowing
ma-
that,
so you're making another motion.
To go back.
Go back to 5-9.
I don't think we can.
Uncharted
You can-
waters.
You can,
I don't know.
if you can adjust the agenda, at one point, you can adjust it at any point.
Any council member can request the agenda order be changed.
And that's what I've done. So, I don't know if I get a second on it, and we deal with it or not. The motion's made.
I got a motion to go back to 5-9 at this point in time. Do I have a second? Okay, doesn't carry. 519, discuss consider act to administer the oath of office for Texas SOS form number 23-2 to the aforementioned newly elected officers and town secretary to acknowledge and notarize. So Justin, you wanna come up? Kent, you wanna come up? You wanna go through everything?
Sure.
Guys, come
Yeah, you're
on.
picking up a new,
What are we doing?
swearing in.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was trying to read the agenda. There wasn't any out there.
Y'all can swear at me now.
What?
Said y'all can swear at me now. So Kent,
Did you wanna get a picture up here?
Thanks.
Go, Robert.
You can come up, you can come back here behind us if you want. Yeah, or you wanna do it.
Robert, do you know this with my heart? So, I, Robert Simmons,
I, Robert Simmons,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I will faithfully execute
the duties
the
of the
duties
office of
of the
Alderman
office of
Place
Alderman,
Five
Place 5,
for the state of
for the
Texas,
state of Texas,
and to the best of my ability to preserve, protect,
and
and defend
defend
the Constitution and laws
of the United States of America
of this state, so help me God.
and the state. So help me God. Yep. Just let me get the meeting there. And we'll get to meet with them there. Which one in here? Three red strips.
Justin,
Yep.
I, Justin Graham,
I, Justin Graham,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Alderman, Place 3
that I will faithfully execute the duties of Alderman, Place 3
of the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability preserve,
and will to the best of my ability preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend the Constitution and laws
and defend the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
so help me.
so help me God.
Kent,
Yes, ma'am.
I, Kent Swatter,
I, Ken Swatter,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of mayor
of mayor
of the state of Texas,
for the state of Texas,
will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve,
protect,
protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the
Con-
United States of
Constitution and laws of the United States
this state, so help me God.
of this state, so help me God.
You guys come on, take your seats.
Not yet, we're not done.
I'm done. We're done.
No, we're not done. We got one more
They're
document.
sworn in.
We got one more document. If you'll just hang on for a minute.
Comment was made up here by Councilman Simmons that, the town noticed that, I guess, Councilman, Pearl and myself had been up here. Well, if the citizens would have came and asked us, we could have explained to them, we're working on ILAs with the county, which you two will figure out as you go along. You guys will be meeting up here with county officials, state officials. Not all council members will be privy to that, but we do put that on the agenda. So, I mean, yeah, you saw our cars here. Yes, we were meeting with, officials throughout the state and county.
Robert,
And, it's pretty sad that councilman would bring that up. No, let me finish.
Sir.
You said, no, you finished
Can
your
we-
statement,
can-
Simmons. No.
You're
No, I'm
accusing
gonna
me
say-
of not knowing how the agenda items are working, and what I said was that y'all are not sharing the information with us. And so
But,
how can
but
we
the point
know
was you
how
brought that
these
up, and
agenda
you've
items
done it
work?
yourself, Councilman Simmons.
You can
Done it
point your
yourself.
fingers, it's
Thank you,
really
that's all I
not,
have
it's
to
really
say.
not
So,
fair
I
at all.
sent-
It
You
is
should,
fair.
y'all should let
You brought
people
it up.
know how these things
You brought
work.
it up here.
And you shouldn't accuse us of not knowing when you're not sharing the information.
I sent a
You're the one
calendar.
that said that we kept it from you.
That's right.
You shouldn't speak.
I sent a calendar out with this, again, this was a difficult thing to navigate.
Okay.
The fact that it's on the 13th,
I agree.
there's other things to do.
I agree.
There's no secrets, there's no mishandling of information, that's why I sent a post-closing calendar to you all.
Well,
you
so
could
it's my
see.
fault for being drawn off sides by these two gentlemen talking about how I didn't understand how this was working and how I motioned for the wrong agenda item. So you can make fun and draw me off sides, I'm sorry, I jumped, and so you get the penalty and you make me look bad, that's fine, I get it. I
So
understand, I get it.
Let me explain, the agenda was set
I've
up,
played football, I understand.
the agenda was set up so that if for some reason, because none of us have been, we haven't had an election here in 14 years. We don't know how it was gonna fall. It's been difficult on me to try to figure out, it's the first election I've been through, it's gonna be my last one. I don't like this. This is not what I signed up for. I signed up to try to help people. So first off, you put it on the agenda. In the event something didn't go right, then we could have our council meeting. There wasn't a strategy to miscommunicate or misinform or to strategize. I mean, you have to look at it from this way too. There's such a push to realign this agenda. Is there another strategy? Everybody needs to just calm down and start working with each
Okay,
other.
let's finish 5.20. Do we have 23-3 to sign?
No, 5.20, discuss, consider act on acceptance from affirmation, newly elected officers. We're done.
So we've got, I need the,
Just like the commission tonight, stuff like that is done where council members do meet up here without me here.
statement of
It
office.
happens all the time. You guys will see.
With, according, Councilman Trevino would like you to
Yeah, please continue.
continue with your conversation
But
to the
address-
council. It is the council, not
Okay.
everyone else that we're actually talking about too.
I mean, I went to great lengths to make sure that this went off without a hitch. There was the other 2 days, the 14th and the 15th, after we get this in. I talked to other city secretaries too, and they said, you should never be rushed. You've got numbers to look at, you've got things you should put on your documents. You should have time to look at those. You should not be pressured. And it's really up to you to make that call. I did what I thought was right. I visited with our attorney, I visited with state ethics commission, I visited with everybody, because I knew no matter how it went, it was gonna be perceived wrong. So I've done what I needed to do to make sure it was right. I wanted to have time to do things correctly. You know, I'm gonna do it right. So, there was no deception, there was no, I put out a post-closing calendar so there wouldn't be any questions. JT called me last week. He was wanting me to move it, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm on my last nerve right now. I'm tired. I went ahead and did what I could to start rearranging it to get it on an agenda, but I could not be guaranteed that we would get our information in time to do it. I still had the question of whether I needed a sealed envelope to arrive to it. I had no idea, I've not done this before. Everything in this, if you look at the election code, it says sealed results. So.
Well, you did good, you had it all listed here, and you were able to get through it tonight, so you did good, you don't need to meet with you.
No, we don't, but I'm just saying, there were other things we could have accomplished in those 2 days that y'all are gonna have to come back for a meeting for anyway.
Of course.
Like I said, there's no agenda, there's no manipulation or anything. I can say that for the same side for pushing it to get it done, so, truce, okay? Is that acceptable?
So,
I need.
5.20, Form 23-3.
So Kent needs you to take your bribery
Statement.
statement. Have you been bribed?
That was,
You've already said.
Not for
it.
I was
this
gonna say,
job.
that was a question? Have you been bribed?
This says he has not.
Yeah.
I have not.
Thank you.
That's good to know. Just,
I have not been right.
Robert,
Do you have, I haven't,
you haven't been
I
bribed?
have several on record, but I don't have one personally, I don't think.
Here, hang on, I'll get you this one. You have several robberies over there?
Several of these forms on record that I've not.
All right, gentlemen, come take your seats.
Okay, and if y'all, before we start back up, if y'all will give me a minute to get off, I need to get some things going here. Thanks, guys. I do wanna, before you two leave though, I do wanna thank you all for the last, I've been working with y'all for nearly 4 years now. I wanna thank y'all for always being there and helpful and ready to talk through projects and trying to get things across finish lines. We've had to sit and figure out a whole lot of things that we didn't know. And, I appreciate that. Although, you know, there's questions about you being here, whatever,
Well,
that's how we got through a
It's a
lot of
public
things.
location, I can still come in anytime I want. Just to give y'all a head.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, and to let the incoming council know that, yeah, I still live in town, I'm not going anywhere. Knock that off, get it out of the way. So, if you got any questions, let me know. There's gonna be some hard stuff coming up, but she knows what's going on, trust her.
Will do. Absolutely.
All right.
And I hope we can reach out to you if we need to.
Cool. Excellent. Thank you.
Welcome, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. Councilman Alderman. Good to you.
You that short? Oh, I didn't. Can't?
Raise that chair, brother. There you go. It's your power position.
You guys, these will be given to y'all once I make
You
copies.
need to take a quick recess.
Huh?
You need to do anything.
I'm just having to put my stuff back
You wanna
together.
take 5 minutes?
Take a recess.
Want to take 5?
Order me some pizza, I haven't eaten
Here,
anything
let-
today.
let's-
Nothing.
Let's reconvene at.
Here.
I'm right here, but I can make a phone call, I can get pizza anywhere.
No, it's okay.
I'll make a motion, let's reconvene in 8 minutes at 8 o'clock.
You better have pizza.
That would
Rush
require
delivery.
me to speed through Central.
That should be something in
Take the
the,
Any second motion?
Did I hear Craig?
Yep.
Where did you come from?
I've been sitting back here.
If I known you were coming, I got you to bring me pizza.
Not for recess.
Won't get back at 8 o'clock.
I'm not bringing people.
No, don't bring me.
I'll stay out this way.
Sherry.
You could make it say that.
Hopefully we can figure that one. I got McDonald's that stays open, so I can hit that way home. Well. Must have.
So 5.2 and 5.2 are the same, right?
Just if it doesn't turn up, I'll have you sign it. I have not, you saw me, right?
Yeah.
I didn't move from the spot. Thanks, that's okay. I can't do it right now, but I appreciate it.
I can tell somebody's a mom, always got snacks.
That's the neighbor's shoe sometimes.
All right, well, we'll do this again, let's move on. I'll sort my stuff out in a minute, I did not know where it went.
We are reconvened.
Okay. Well, pass this-
One's missing.
Yeah, pass this down. I'll pass that down to Robert. I'll sign here, just for your name, get there. I still have it for
Yeah. I might lean back and take a nap on one, What's your name, bud?
I'm Joel Hoffman. I'm
Great.
pastor. We on the property right across the street here.
Mr. Frank's old property.
I think so. Smith, last name Smith. Barbara. Where we bought it from.
The house, brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Mr. Frank's old house. I think you bought it from the son. But Mr. Frank's good old man.
A friend who,
I'm Pete's guy, if you ain't catch that.
I didn't catch that.
So, come on down any day.
Probably at Lakeview and.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
it. It is there, I just keep looking past it. I'm not crazy.
I've been pastoring the church for a while and, we had a church member drop by on, just a place in line. So we pulled her up real quick and. Instructions and everything.
Takes time. Takes time. Okay.
Make some more, just so I can get a meal. got too close to my beehives the other day. They wore me out. Got hit about 10 or 15 times before I got with them, so.
Oh, mini bees?
Man, honeybees.
Well, not all mini bees.
Well, the ones I found were.
Only 10 or 15 of
Only
them.
10 or 15 of them are mini
I
bees.
knew there was something wrong because they were swarming. I usually don't do that. You know, you think, I don't know, that kind of feels different than it used to.
Sorry, your watch is slow.
Almost got by.
It's not good.
When the shredder got close to
Yeah,
the
that one.
beehives.
Ready to reconvene?
Where are we at, 5-2?
5-2.
Moving back to 5-2.
Back to 5-2, discuss, consider, and act on the nomination of individuals to fill vacant Alderman seat 1.
That was just placed on the agenda in the event we had anybody interested. To my knowledge, there isn't anybody.
There isn't anybody? There was not any official candidates that were submitted?
Nope.
I would make a motion that we table this until next meeting.
I second that motion. Well, hold on, but why do we need to table it if we don't have anybody as of yet? We just need to, now it's been officiated, we can now officially post for it and search for candidates? So we don't need to table it, we can complete
Well,
the
not
action.
candidates, I mean, they,
You
just
wanna-
applicants.
Or take applicants, correct?
Do you wanna make a
Potential.
motion then to post it?
I'll make a motion that we begin the search to fill seat 1.
I'll second.
All in
All in favor, any?
Aye.
No, you were second, right?
Well, you go ahead and say, ask for any nays.
There was no nays. Any nays? So,
You vote.
Yeah.
please forgive the, out of order on some of this stuff. We were not prepared to take office at this particular time. So it's gonna be a little bit trial by fire. We'll get through this one pretty quick and then we'll move on. So I do appreciate y'all's patience with this. Discuss, consider an act on agreement with Republic Services regarding the 5th Saturday cleanup day.
So this was on the last agenda. The question was this the rate schedule the same as the other? I sent you all an email with that. The only thing that was added was the cleanup will allow each resident up to 8 yards of bulk brush, 1 service, 1 selected week. Robert, I'll get with you about, you had a question about rates, so I'll get with you later about whether or not that was different or not.
So is this every time we have a 5th Saturday? So every time in the calendar year, I think it happens maybe twice a year or something like that, we have a 5th Saturday?
That it will be scheduled on a 5th Saturday, and they said, it may not be 2 Saturdays, but there'll be 1 5th Saturday that they'll pick. This time it's a little unusual. I think it's gonna be the last, week of July, if I'm not mistaken. They're gonna try to fit it in because we can do it, so.
Because it was impromptu.
Yeah, cause we kinda made the decision late, but
What rate, what questions do you have about rates, like personal
That
rates?
should be talked about separately.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Is it open for discussion,
Let me
anything?
see, hold on. 453.
No?
No,
Discuss or consider agreement.
it needs to be signed, so.
Yeah, so
I
we
do
have
need
to
action.
sign it. Okay. So DCA, on agree on 5.3? I make a motion, we move forward with accepting 5.3 on Republic Services regarding 5th Saturday cleanup day.
I'll second.
All nays?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go.
No, it's fine.
Okay, thank you. So, 5.4, discuss, consider, and act on possible P and Z vacancies.
Just letting everybody know that, we do have 1 vacancy, 1 alderman, one alternate vacancy, cause I know 1 person isn't gonna serve, there's 2 people not gonna serve again, and then I've got 1 that's still on the fence, so somebody's gonna have to start digging those up. We did look at the first of the year and exhausted what applications that we did get, so.
Is that on the website?
I haven't posted it back on the website, so that's the next question, are we
So somebody's,
ready to post it?
yeah, so somebody's gonna drop out is because it says possible P and Z vacancies. We already know we have one open seat and one alternate seat. We're already looking for 2 people.
Well, when I did this, I wasn't sure about a
Okay.
couple of them, so now I do know about 2.
Okay,
One alternate, one permanent, and then we have one, that's on bids, so.
Okay.
I'd like to see us posted on the website.
yeah. Yeah, okay. You wanna make that motion? Do we need to make
Can
that?
we motion, or can we just?
Post it.
Just
Let's
post it.
just do it.
So moving to 5.5, discuss, consider, and act on the Citizen Ordinance Feedback forms received on April 30, 24, and recommend zoning related items to P and Z for review.
Can I make a recommendation that we take personal information, take the word optional off of the form? Because people are submitting forms without us knowing who they are. They could be people that aren't even residents of the town. I mean, if somebody needs to give some feedback, we need to know that they're citizens of the town and be able to contact them. So just to get a bunch of these garbage, vomit kind of feedback forms without any kind of context or even knowing if they're citizens or not, to me is a waste of time.
I agree with that.
I mean, some of them are really good, but this one is, it's.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It would be helpful, perhaps we could make it to where they don't have to be publicly,
Responded to?
yeah, or that we don't put it, for public record that who it is.
I mean, I'm
But
okay
at
if
least
you want to
sensitize the information.
Sensitize it, yeah.
You want
'cause
to put
it-
a confidential, you
Yeah.
want it to be confidential
Right.
box that they can check or
Right.
something, but we need to be able to reach
Yeah.
out to people.
Right, because if we're taking citizen comments here and we're asking for addresses, then we need to do the same over here. Makes sense.
Okay, take them out, I'm gonna
But
go
we do
to
not let
confidential.
people provide comments that aren't citizens, so we need to, I just want to make sure.
So they got a checkbox that says confidential on it, we
Sure.
wouldn't, yeah, okay.
Sensitize, we would sensitize the information at that point.
We need a motion,
Motion that we
No, this-
update the form as we just discussed.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
that's a new voice, is that Justin's?
Yep.
5.6, discuss, consider.
Hang on, we haven't actually discussed.
I thought you just.
No,
The
it's-
actual, what's on the forms, we just discussed it before.
Yeah, the actual,
There's some,
Yeah, we need
One
some.
confidential, correct?
yeah, there's
Still
actually
discussing
some
the items.
feedback forms here
we're
that
supposed to be right
that we need to discuss.
Oh,
So that's the same packet.
underneath.
So several feedback forms are about, situation that we have with, 3990, or at least it refers to that kind of problem. And of course, we would have that kind of problem perpetually throughout the town if people are gonna move into areas that there's not enough parking for a place of worship. And I know that there has been citizens working on ideas on how to rectify that ordinance. And so probably what we should do is look at that and read that as a council and see if that's something we wanna move forward with, and then have that go to P and Z to be, properly vetted by P and Z and our attorney.
Well, the Lakeway SUP is coming up most likely next meeting. So,
It's actually gonna have to be moved, I didn't get time to do it since we moved this around with the
so,
notice in effect.
so I think the first citizen feedback form, I think that issue will be addressed in the upcoming meeting. And we can't change retroactively, whatever we change
Right.
retroactively anyway, in effect.
No, it's just highlighting a problem with the town, right, that
So-
we need to look at.
And the 3990 Lakeway, again, this is about an ordinance, this is not about a specific place. We're talking about ordinances, this is
Right.
ordinance, this is not about a specific location,
Right.
can't do that.
Yep, no, there's several of them that enlisted that though, where we're reading through it, they use the address.
Yeah.
But that's the,
Just
that's what you're having to look at, it's specifically to the ordinance and not
So,
specific to
so
the
the
place.
first one in our packet, I would recommend that we not take any action on that one, that's gonna be coming up. That should be.
Yeah, there's at least one other one, if not two others, that talk about parking for places of worship. And what I'm trying to convey is that some citizens have taken it upon themselves to look at how to reword that ordinance, specifically towards places of worship, to help with the parking requirements, to make that work better for the town. And I believe that we should look at that as a council and see what those updates are. If we,
I made a direct recommendation to P and Z that they would change and gave specific, resident language,
Mhm.
request language, and P and Z chose not to put it on their agenda.
Okay.
Well, okay, well, here we can officiate this ordinance and have them directly review this with recommendations, and now we're forcing it to be on there.
Cause I had it on an agenda for council a couple of months ago and was told it had to go to P and Z first.
doesn't have to go, I don't agree, it has to go to P and Z first. It has to go to P and Z before it comes to us to be approved. It doesn't have to go to them first for us to look at an idea and for us to say that
I'm
we.
just telling you, they chose not to
Well,
put it on the agenda.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, here,
So
that we
there's-
talked, now we can say we need you guys to have this on your agenda. Is that something?
Is that a question or a statement?
I'm stating, I'd like to say this one that the citizens went through and,
I kinda thought a request by a council member to have it on the agenda would have been that, but it wasn't.
I think it, so the council is in charge of, appointing people to the P and Z, and the P and Z is a, basically kind of like almost a subcommittee, if you will, not quite, of our town. And we're in charge of appointing people to it, removing people from it if we have to, which hasn't happened that I know of, but when we, as a council, vote and move forward that we want to have a specific language looked at, I would think that would direct them to have to take it. I could see them not maybe taking direction from an individual council person or from a citizen, but if the council as a motions and votes to have them do something, I think they're compelled at that point to do it.
was it, when you asked for when you requested your item to be placed on their agenda, was that individual?
That was not as a resident, that was a council, as a council.
Yeah.
I was very clear that, this was on the council agenda, and it got pushed to P and Z.
Well, we have the person who puts the agenda together here, can we officiate something like
I
that?
think we're kind of waiting on Rob for some guidance.
So the thing, let me go back to this again real quick. I could see that P and Z would get whipsawed around if they had all 5 or 6 of us trying to put things on their agenda. It could even be conflicting, right?
Now, why don't we just go straight to
So,
Gary?
so if
to
we,
the
well,
chair.
if we as a council look at a document in some kind of rough form, it doesn't have to be finalized, but it's some kind of rough form of an idea of what we would like to change in the ordinance. And we as a council we can talk through and even, do some edits, we've done that in the past on this board. And we approve of that moving to P and Z to be handled in the way that they're supposed to, because I have to see ones that affect planning and zoning, I agree with that. And certainly the attorney would look at it during that time, and then it would come back to us to be approved, final approval. I think that would be a much better way of handling this than having other arbitrary folks trying to direct this. I mean, it's not Gary, it's not our lawyer. We need to be as a council agreeing and motioning them in directions that's gonna help us to move forward, because if they spend all this effort and time, and it comes back to us for approval, and then we end up denying it, how's that gonna help with the resources we have to
Well,
use?
I found it interesting that a member of the planning and zoning actually
Right.
produced a form with a recommendation or request of what I already sent to P and Z.
Right.
So, I don't understand why the delays and why it takes so long to get that addressed.
So why don't we look at that one?
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about, was looking right at that one. I mean, it seems it has diligence done already on it. Can we fill the gaps and then send it right back to them for review?
I think so.
Okay, so, parking ordinance.
Again, just for clarification, it's not retroactive, but I think it ought to be there going forward.
And like Leanne noted, it does not pinpoint any particular, this is something we need to address for the entire town, for anybody who wants to start a place of worship in either a residential or a commercial area.
So when you forward these to P and Z, you need to be specific to look at the parking ordinance. These are the comments that have been sent in, and then they go from there, and then it would come back
With their review.
with their review, then it needs to go.
I was very clear with what I suggested is verbiage for that change. And again, it wouldn't even put on an agenda, so.
Can you send that again, and we'll stick this in with this?
Of course.
Yeah, let's do that. But yeah, it should, I mean.
So is this not enough for them to move forward on, the one that Eric sent? Eric Govers?
I mean, there's several forms that address parking, maybe send those, when we look at the.
As a packet,
As a
complete with
package, and
them?
then they know that they can start looking at those forms.
That this is a good item for them to review?
I was just asking if this is something we can get them to start moving forward. It's coming up on a year since we wanted to start addressing.
When do they meet next?
The 21st of
Is this, from Eric Goers also went through the ordinance committee, I know he's participating in that as well, so it did go through that.
Well, there's no ordinance committee.
There's an unofficial ordinance because, there's nothing, there's no reason that people can't.
Oh, so there's an ordinance club, okay.
Yeah.
So the citizens have compiled this,
Council sets an ordinance.
and he sent it over to us? And he's representing us?
Yes.
Justin,
Okay.
Justin, what do you think?
So I think one question I have on this is, so there's kind of two big ways you can do it. So you can try to define what a seat is, or you can go by pure square feet, a floor area. So that's something we're kind of debating between. So I think it's probably something we should. What direction do we want to go? I think there's kind of a lot of leeway for kind of stretching that ordinance if you go seat based. Like what is a seat? Can seats be removed and things like that? So I don't know. I just like to hear y'all's opinion on that.
I mean, how many people can fit in a pew? The
Yeah.
pew may be divided differently at different churches. I mean, it's probably better to look at it from a square footage point of view. And I think that we would direct them to go that way.
I think the verbiage was both, with it being the more conservative of the parking of the two. But is this the verbiage that the ordinance club came up with?
Yeah, it's kind of I think it's somewhat shortened. It's not like formatted right because it's fit into this form, but that looks like the gist of it.
I would be okay with Justin providing that to P and Z.
And I think we need to give them this form and any additional verbiage that
Would Justin be okay with giving that to P and Z?
Yes, I can give that to P&Z.
So if you will make sure I get that, so that when it goes on the agenda, everything goes to them at one time and not from different sources.
Do we need I think we need a motion that I would motion that this specific form that came from Eric Goers about this topic for parking for places of worship, along with any other collateral
Additional.
information that we have, be presented to P&Z for them to act on it.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
So that'll be the first thing then for P and Z on their ordinance list. So, let's see, okay, we've still got other forms here. Are we taking any action on those or no? So Robert, you're the first, second on that.
JT, me.
Well, there was another one about voluntary abandonment of lots,
On the non-conforming?
but that doesn't apply to me. It's not something we discussed tonight. I would recommend no action on it.
Not tabled in no action, correct?
Right.
And so,
That's all.
others are about perfect.
Can we give them that feedback?
Yeah, what did this?
We should probably give them that
So
feedback.
so I guess I had a question on that form that you're discussing. Did this ever go through the, what was that committee called?
Unofficial.
The swapping of the hats?
Oh, the house that was built, you talking about no, that didn't have to, right, Leanne, because it was, it met all the requirements
Met
for
all the
setback.
requirements in the setback.
1.5 and setback and everything?
Not 1.5,
No, it's a non-conforming lot,
yeah,
and it did meet all of
the
the setbacks.
setbacks.
Oh, so it didn't have to go through not the variance?
Right.
No.
So your recommendation,
The
Robert?
Board of Adjustments thing.
Your recommendation was to
No.
just provide feedback?
Yeah, I think we should give feedback on that one, whatever we can.
I know nothing of that, that's prior to.
Brought it to,
Thank them for their input. Discussed.
lots that were platted before 1981 and that are approved for septic and meet the setbacks can be built. It's been covered.
Is that that's in county law, or is that's in our ordinances, correct?
Are we ready to move on?
Yep, ready to move on?
5-6, discuss, consider act on the future ordinances and resolutions. Be reviewed and approved by the town attorney, and once passed, signed by the town attorney as to form.
The reason this is on there is because we're repetitively running into ordinances that were done back in the years. There's a habit, I guess, of going to other towns and grabbing their ordinances and just copying them to avoid legal fees. We've had a number of things that are missing the proper verbiage to make them legal. I suggest that they always go through our attorney and that he always sign off as to form once they're approved. I know everybody wants to avoid the legal fees, but we have a town attorney, he's got 50+ years experience, and he knows, without a doubt, what we need. But especially when it comes to documents, our documents need to be.
Does Franklin, in the contract with Franklin, does not offer any of that legal assistance?
No, this is something we need to be doing through our attorney.
I agree that he should be so does that mean he's gonna go ahead and go through all of our ordinances and update? So that doesn't mean
No,
that's.
not unless we direct him to, but
So are we instilling an
But-
ordinance now? Does he have an ordinance prepared so that, the attorney has to approve?
that's, if y'all want to go to that length, we can do that. I mean, a big resolution or ordinance
So
or
was-
whatever. I'm
Yeah.
thinking more it's gonna be in policy, because we've got to update policies.
No, I agree that.
I think it's good practice.
Yeah.
But I can't personally look at this and say all future ordinances have to be signed off on. Because there may be slight changes that we ought to be able to make. So to have it as all, I have a problem with.
No, I mean, he's gonna give you the general form, and he'll allow us to make changes and that sort of thing, but you should always send it back to him and see if those changes you made are gonna hold any weight legally. I mean, you could have 2 words missing and not be correct.
So all future ordinances and resolutions, not changes to existing.
No changes to
Okay.
existing, this is future. Anything existing, we're kind of going down this path with P and Z, looking at ordinances. I mean, that would be a huge undertaking to go through absolutely every one of them. That's a lot. It's gonna take years to go through them. So there's gonna have to be patience in that,
Well, I mean, yeah, if it's a
Anything
future
new.
ordinance or resolution, that makes sense to me.
yeah, new. This has nothing to do with going backwards.
Okay. I don't see any problem with
Motion.
More
it.
discussion.
Does anybody have a problem with it?
Problem with.
Your turn.
Future ordinances and resolutions be reviewed by the attorney.
I think it's probably a good practice. My only concern is that if we need to move fast, I don't know that we should make it to where we could draw up our own and approve it, and if he doesn't wanna sign it, then we may have to go back through again.
So, I mean, I would
That'd be
say,
my concern, because we're already slow enough as it is.
because I
It's
would,
usually pretty quick.
yeah, I
I'm
would.
talking about our cycle to be able to meet.
Yeah, so I would say that we put in there a clause that says that as per our discretion, but at that point, we just leave it as is. Cause, I mean, we're already utilizing the attorney, so if we add the clause as per our discretion, if we decide to send it over to the attorney, then we can. But I don't even think that we need to act on that to be able to push something to the attorney.
Yeah.
I'm
In
just
general,
thinking as you add new people, that sort of thing, it's, you know, just putting in place. I think any staff with any municipal experience is gonna know that that needs to go through the
Right.
attorney.
I think it's
That's
fine.
gonna have to be
That-
explained.
I think it's fine to review, but I don't want him signing off as a requirement.
Why would you
On
not?
all.
On all, right, on all, that's kind of.
On ordinances, you wouldn't want him signing off?
I'm not saying that I wouldn't want him signing off on everything, I'm saying that if we need to send something off and make a change on it, as.
I don't mind him signing at the end. I think
That's what I'm saying.
I think that's good, but I don't think he should gate us from moving forward whenever we need to make changes. If we write
No.
something that's out of line and he gets back with us and says, well, what y'all guys passed last Monday is not working, then we will have to bring it back through. But I don't wanna keep us from being able to take action, because again, we're slow enough because of having to have the 72-hour rule and meeting once a month. Maybe we're gonna start meeting twice a month. That's my only concern. So I do think it's value in him signing off and making sure that it works properly.
And so, just help me with the clarification, so reviewed and approved by the town attorney, and once passed, does that mean we can't pass something until it's first reviewed by the attorney?
That's
or-
exactly what that.
That's what it's saying, and that's my concern.
So, we ought to be able to pass
Pass it,
things,
yeah.
and then have an attorney clarify.
Now, ideally, of course, we'd have him review it in advance, but if we're in a hurry because it's something that needs to be done, and we're up against the clock, hopefully we could get it right the first time and have him sign it after we've passed it.
And as it is now, anything that gets passed has to sit through a quorum through the council, so
Right.
Okay, I'm good with that.
So basically status quo,
status quo.
and make sure that Leanne knows that we would like it to be reviewed, but it's not a requirement.
Yes.
So, no motions needed there, correct?
Correct.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess, I mean, like I said, I'm seeing a lot of issues, practically everything we pick up, so.
Well, when we bring those issues,
On what?
bring specific issues back like that, we can revisit this one.
That way you can see the examples of what's.
Because I don't think
please.
anybody's saying we don't want the attorney to review the lesson.
Yeah.
We're just not wanting it to have to be a prerequisite to us passing something.
And I mean, I can generally have a feel for it legally, what needs to be done, and just, again, it's with new people coming on, making sure that, it doesn't go back to the old of, let's go.
Well, that's why we have a council, that's why we have to have multiple
Well,
votes.
my thing is, the practice of going out to another town and getting an ordinance and just copying it and.
No, I understand.
Because the problem is legislation, things have changed and you don't.
You don't do that.
And you copied something from the 1980s.
No, I understand I understand where you're coming from, but the good thing is that the new people that are here, one doesn't get to vote, the other one still has to have majority vote.
No, I'm talking about as we look at staff, so.
So what about, so back to what the mayor was talking about, is there not an opportunity for us to talk with Mr. Franklin? I thought, is he still potentially gonna come meet
It's
with us?
been hard to get with him, I'll follow up with him again and see if, now that we're kind of in a
Right,
new area.
and see what he can help with. Okay, thanks.
It's just one of those million things that, trying to get hold of people and getting schedules.
I'll help you if I can. So we're passed on that. 5.8, discuss, consider, and act on an ordinance number 270-2405-13, amending the Article 9.02, officers and employees to establish the position of town administrator and authorize additional staff. Open for discussion.
this was the ordinance that, we had last week, and it was just to take out that the assistant, I believe the assistant secretary, because that was an unpaid position. Nobody's gonna do it for free, trust me.
Right.
Well, now, so 5.8 is the creation of a town administrator, where before it was town secretary. We had town secretary and assistant town secretary. Now, the new ordinance is town administrator. And the other, staff positions that, are recommended don't have to go by ordinance from what I was told. So this is just updating it for the town administrator. Because we don't have this position currently in our ordinances. So we need to approve adding this position to our ordinances.
So this is more a title change.
It's adding a new position to our ordinances, which we don't have right now. And we're currently posted for the job and about to start interviewing for it, so we need to adopt this one. Says the council's gonna hire them, and the council can remove them without cost.
All right, more discussion?
I'll make a motion.
We met, if you don't mind, we met, with the company.
That's what I was gonna ask, is like,
Me and David,
Right.
as part of the committee for hiring the new town administrator, and this was one of the actions that needed to be done before they could move to completion. They can go ahead and start, they've already posted, like David said, they've already posted the ads, but they can't complete the hiring until we've got this position officially on our books.
have they, okay, right, okay. Have they, have any applicants already?
No, yet, I haven't heard that.
There's been several applicants, they're screening things,
Okay.
screening them, and they're supposed to bring to Robert and I a short list of candidates that we didn't interview, and then.
So are you guys
So
performing?
Robert and I then bring them to council.
Are you guys performing the interviews?
I think we might be.
Not the initial. I think
They'll
they're-
lead on that one.
I think they're doing the initial.
Right, they're doing screening, if you will.
And then they're
Okay.
on to us.
And then we
And just to clarify, town administrator and assistant town administrator / secretary, they are not searching for that role.
Right.
They are only searching for the town administrator role. If they have candidates that might be good for that other role, I've made the request that they give those to us as well, so we can talk to those people, not just weed them out. But their role is to help us with the town administrator first.
At the end of the search, can they bucket all of the applicants that submitted? So we can, in the event that we have to have additional help, we can sort through those, because I don't know what happens after the fact.
Well, yeah, I asked for that because I'm thinking there may be somebody that's not qualified to be a town administrator, but they may be a great assistant.
Right.
But in both of those positions in our documents are gonna be full-time.
So that was a full-time 32 plus hours?
Full-time 40. The town administrator is gonna be what they call exempt,
Okay, so salary exempt?
and
Or non-exempt?
the assistant is gonna be non-exempt.
And we have to have this ordinance to be able to hire this position?
Yes.
Yes. I make a motion that we approve ordinance 270240513.
Well, I was trying to stop you before that. So I think that this has to be amended because there's no position available for, Mr. Swanner to,
I believe that can be stroked through and his name added.
Oh, yeah, that's easy, and that's not a problem.
Okay,
okay.
cool with that?
Okay, I make the motion of that, of approving with that one change.
I'll second.
Second. All in favor?
Who was my second?
I was.
You start changing my voice.
So, item 5.9, closed meeting in accordance with 551.074 of the Texas Government Code. The council will convene into executive session to deliberate the appointment, evaluation, reassignment of duties of the town secretary, Alderman seat 1. No action will be taken in a closed session.
At this time,
Yeah.
right, so I think
So-
at this time, you would say that we're gonna go
To
5.9 to the regular. Yeah, so you have to announce what you said and address the public, if you will.
So what, we're going into executive session? Yeah, in regards to 5.9, which I just read, and we'll close for executive session, no actions will be taken. And then we'll reconvene as soon as, we get done with that. Is that what you're asking?
And, I mean, there are no other agenda items, I believe, after that.
There's 5-10, that is
10, 11,
correct.
and 12.
Do we wanna,
Okay, sorry.
And
Do we wanna-
5-7, that got
and-
skipped.
Do y'all
Address
wanna
those
do
before?
well, so I guess, yeah, I was gonna say, so we went from 5.6 to 5.8, and we didn't address 5.7, even though we informally addressed it, so
Oh, I
we.
thought we did.
Yeah, well, I know that we went through it, but he didn't state 5.8, so if you wanna go back really
Oh.
ck
I
and,
did state 5.8.
5-7.
Did I not?
5.7
Yes, I
got
did.
missed.
5.7.
sorry, 5.7 got
I thought
missed.
that's one that y'all just said we didn't have to.
It's contracts,
We-
it's a separate.
Yeah, we said 5.6 status quo.
All right, 5.7 is what you want. Discuss, consider act on a requirement for the town attorney to review all contracts to be signed.
Correct, so I think we want no status taken, we want status quo at this time.
Correct.
I don't know, on contracts, I'm not sure that that's the case.
Oh.
Contracts is a different situation.
Yeah.
We're- okay,
It's a totally different
let's
situation.
discuss.
I feel like he does need to, cause there are times when he has caught things that, you know, are liabilities for us
Yeah.
that they may have been signed off before.
What type of
Is
contracts
there
do-
a dollar amount that, like, I mean, you can sign for cable.
Right.
For internet service, that's a contract technically.
Yeah, utilities, that
Yeah,
sort
we
of
don't-
thing,
we
yeah,
don't
we
need-
get that. but-
Well, technically, those will be agreements, not contracts. I'm just saying there is a legal difference.
Yeah, that's a good point, David makes up. So maybe it is still the discretion of the town administrator or town secretary currently.
But
Or we set a dollar amount that any contract over a certain dollar amount.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
How about we,
again, that can be thrown into our policies as we.
how about we table it with more information? Or is tabling, what's the other option? Postpone, why don't we postpone it with gathering more information? More specifics with defining what contracts need to be gone through from the attorney
You want to set a timeline on
Next
for
regular
the
meeting.
next regular meeting, yeah. So, June 1st, second Monday meeting?
that? Got a motion to table this until June?
Yes. So you're gonna
So,
postpone it till June?
I'll make the motion to postpone it till June, 5.7 to June, regular council meetings.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye. Okay, so we're gonna go in this other room then? When we-
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Do you want to address?
Why don't we just go ahead, 5.11, that's, I don't have anything on that. 5.12, we're not filling the vacancy.
And that's where it ends.
5.10, and here's the deal, 5.10.
Well, we can't move forward by you saying, let's
I
move
know,
forward.
but I'm just saying, do you wanna go to executive session first, or do you wanna just go to 5.10
I'd
first?
say
and
we
then
go ahead to 5:10.
Well, if
And then
we can get all the public stuff, we can let these fine people.
That's
go.
what I'm thinking.
That's correct.
Roger, we can't talk. That works for me.
Leah wants to go home.
Eventually.
She does.
I want your pizza.
Okay, well, I'll motion then that we move to agenda item 5.10 to discuss, consider act on current town secretary retirement transition and exit plan.
We have a second.
I second that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Moving to 5:10. Discuss, consider, act on the current town secretary's retirement, transition, and exit plan. The town secretary to present the plan.
So, my plan is not as detailed as I'd hoped, because I ended up shifting over to, and I'm not whining, I'm just ended up shifting over to something else that I wasn't planning on. For those of you who don't know, we moved, from this area where I was making a 20-minute drive to, I do now drive what started out to be an hour and a half a day, one way, to now what is getting close to be 2 hours a day. Traffic in this area is out of hand. The search that we have going right now, I've talked to several other city secretaries that have been through these transitions. They said there's about a 60-day transition period. My understanding is going forward with the consulting company who's doing the job search, they should have somebody in place by the end of July. If that's the case, then there's 60 days, so I'm thinking September 30th, which puts you at the fiscal year, and then you've got a whole new budget you can work with. So, then beyond that, if there's something beyond that, we can talk about it. Like I said,
So this notice was given
I'm
today?
getting old, that's all I can say. 2 hours in the car, 4 hours in the car a day is really cutting
Your life.
into my life.
Definitely understand that. Yeah, so what would you like us to discuss or consider?
Just to be aware.
Be aware, I guess.
Okay. And I greatly appreciate the notice.
Yeah, it definitely helps.
That's huge, thank you.
Appreciate all the time that you put into the job, and it's tough when you move further away from a job. I don't have as big a job as you do, but it's pretty big.
Yeah, that's a long way.
And do we still have Roz employed?
Yes, we do. I would, like I said, we have a lot of stuff that has been going on since the first of the year, just so we can get to budget and take in a lot of information. She's taken on a lot. I've got to, she called me a while ago and her mother's on life support and they're pulling her off tonight. So I don't know what her availability is. Probably for a few weeks she's young child and she's having it for that. So this is so we're gonna have to work through that. So.
If we need anything, just let us know.
So back to 5.1, there's not a voting item on that, it's just kind of an update.
Yeah, just let you know that's
5:10.
that's the plan. I actually wanted to have a little more detail for you, but like I said, it's kind of been a little anyway.
So in the event that anything on 510 or any part of the hiring process changes, are these set dates in stone for you? I know you just said that because dates changed.
I'm flexible.
But we need to be shooting for that, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
But I'd like to, I'm getting but
Yeah.
you have to realize, I have not left here in over a year
Right.
Yeah.
for vacation or anything.
Right.
And so it's, and then that constant,
Move
and then
quickly.
here late and.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Okay.
If a new town administrator is brought on faster, would you want to accelerate this?
It depends. We've got an awful lot still to do.
Okay.
I wanna make sure that,
So you'd
I
be
don't
willing
want-
to stay and help with whatever transition?
Yes.
Right.
yes, I wanna
But the
see.
target's September.
That's the target. I just thought I'd put that out there so we're not dragging it out. Cause chances are you can get somebody in, if they're really good, they'll have it in 60 days. You may not need me. But you don't know what the volume of the work is either. If we get inundated with plats like we have the last 2 years, or building, or all of the different subjects that we've had, then it could change. They may need help because they're gonna be on the phone and on phone calls and stuff all the time, and they're gonna need some other help. So until that gets figured out, there's some flexibility there.
We appreciate that.
But my husband is tired of talking to the dogs. The dogs talk back.
That's what he says now.
So,
Maybe.
Does he want a job?
we have no action on 5.10, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so going down to 5.11, discuss, consider act on personnel pay.
That was another councilman's.
How is our pay determined now, and raises and salary ranges and stuff?
I just, when I came in, I just agreed at something, I knew it was lower than what, here was
So
the
we
deal. What-
we have no formal structure.
I mean, at budget is usually when we decide what we're gonna update it. I mean, like I was telling you and the ladies that we're working with for, hiring in somebody is that, but I remember starting this, the town secretary made $14 an hour. And so we did some revamping whenever we brought in Bob, and I think we tried to revamp it again, but it's still outdated. Inflation's kicking everybody's butt, including ours.
Well, and there wasn't any, the town had no benefits whatsoever
Right.
when I started.
Right, so
I
at least
had to get
we've
through those.
gotten better, but it's, you know, that's,
I'd like to make a motion, Robert and I get with our consultants and, figure out, because they've done a range of what the new person possibly give us, what we need to change currently, including TMRS. Was not the thing that they
Right.
strongly recommended that we do.
yeah.
It's part of benefits.
So we can bring that back to council, is that what you're saying?
I need to ask him about two more as too, it's a question that came up on that.
Is that TMRS?
So I'd like to suggest or recommend that, Robert and I get with, our council, and Robert and I can present this next meeting.
Works for me.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. So now we're gonna go back to 5.9. I believe 511.
I recommend that we table or postpone 5.2.
Yeah, well,
I
it's
thought
already,
we've already talked about that, since no one was.
Well, yeah, 5.2 and 5.12 are similar but not the same. There's no action to take,
Yep, let's table.
but it's on the agenda, so it needs to be addressed.
Addressed, right, so let's go, you can make a motion, you want to
Make a motion that we table 5.2.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
That concludes the public portion.
Yeah, it does conclude the public portion. So now we're gonna go to 5.9, closed meeting in accordance with the 551.074 Texas Government Code. The council will convene into executive session to deliberate the appointment, evaluation, reassignment of duties of town secretary and alderman seat 1. No action will be taken at this session. So since there's no action, and we're going into closed session, you're more than welcome to vacate, go home, stick around. Appreciate y'all's time. Thank y'all very much for your support in a very trying time.
Deliver pizza? No? I tried.
My backside, sir.
I know, that's yours.
I got a big deal.
I'm still trying to.
So-
Go ahead.